Hello, good people. Today, we explain why we had to try river cruising, and we did, sailing aboard the Avalon Envision on the Danube River. In this video, we focus on what we believe river cruising to be, then we detail our river cruise experience, and finally, we offer our opinion and recommendations on river cruising. By the end of this video, we hope you will have enough information to make a clear decision on whether or not river cruising is for you. Welcome to Travel Tips and Recommendations with Nikki and Tommy. If you haven't joined us before, why not? The good news is you're here now. If you enjoy our content, just hit that subscribe button and we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. We're all about sharing travel knowledge, inspiration, and great times with our amazing community.
Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Tommy.
And we are Jones Getaways, a travel agency that wants to help you experience the amazing of the world.
It's true.
Yep.
Let's go. All right. So, what were your thoughts before we actually went on our first river cruise about river cruising?
My thoughts on river cruising was I had to manage my expectations about it. And I didn't want to go into river cruising with any preconceived notions from what I've heard other people talk about. I wanted to experience it myself and kind of form my own opinions. But I did kind of think river cruising was just like ocean cruising.
Simple for me. When I think of river cruising, I think of westerns, and I think of people older than us.
Western.
Yeah. I said what I said.
Okay.
So how do you think we came to those conclusions about river cruising without ever being on one?
Well, for one, I thought it was for wealthy people. I also thought it was for a certain demographic of people, and also thought that it was only one cruise line that did river cruising, which was Viking. And I saw the marketing materials from Viking on TV, and you get pamphlets in the mail and everything with them, but I didn't see anyone on there that looked like us, that represented us at all. So I just didn't think river cruising was for us.
Yeah. And so when I say westerns, I mean so my dad and I used to watch westerns with my dad, and he loved this show called Maverick. And then they ended up making a movie about a Maverick, and I think it came out early 90s. I can't remember, 93, 94.
I was a baby.
Yes, you were a baby. Yes, you were. And it had Mel Gibson, it had Jodie Foster, and James Garner. And I'm telling you,
I don't think I've seen it.
That's a heck of a movie. It's funny.
Okay.
Especially, there's a poker competition that they get involved with on a river boat, and there's my river cruising. And it's also like limited it to U.S. So, and that's on me.
Okay.
But when people would talk about river cruising, I just couldn't imagine myself on a river cruise because it just didn't translate well.
Yeah.
So, but our first river cruise was from Passau, Germany to Budapest, Hungary, and we weren't together. So I flew over. We weren't together. I was fighting for our marriage, right? So I immediately got on a plane, flew into Munich, and then took a train to Passau and found my baby.
And I was patiently waiting for you to get there.
Yeah, I'm just playing. It wasn't no issue, but
I was already there because I was attending ASTA Expo, the American Society of Travel Advisors Expo, and you came over because we were sailing on the River Summit for Dream Vacations.
Right. Yeah. And
started in Passau.
Yes, started in Passau. What did you think of Passau?
Oh, it was a lovely town. I don't think I gave it the full
effort.
Yeah, well, because it was cold. It was cold and it was raining, and I don't like to be cold, so I was more focused on staying warm and not getting wet. And so we found a lovely Vietnamese restaurant, and I was able to get my pho.
And got warm.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed Passau. Passau is a small town on the border of Austria. It's got a lot of history there. Beautiful cathedral, St. Stephen's Cathedral. I enjoyed it, really did. We had 2 nights to get to know it before we boarded, right? And so now we're getting on the ship. What do you think about the boarding process?
Boarding process was great, seamless. We stayed at Hotel Residence, was a boutique hotel we stayed in. Got picked up from the cab, dropped off in front of the ship. The crew was there waiting to get our bags and our luggage, and then we boarded the ship, and they were right there with cocktails waiting for us. It wasn't all the loud music and the lights and all of that. None of that, as you see on ocean cruising when you board. It was really kind of setting the tone for it to be a nice, calm, serene type experience, relaxed experience.
Yeah, it was easy. The funniest thing was that boarding, the ship literally looked like it turned on its right blinker and pulled over and said, "Hey, you want to get on board?"
Yeah, because it's
That's
right
how
in
it
the
looked.
city
Yeah, it's
center,
right there.
Especially when you have your luggage out there, and the
Travel tip, right? Always make sure your luggage has your first and last name so that it can get transported to your room that's assigned
cabin,
to you. So, what did you think about our room?
The cabin was beautiful. When we walked in, of course, the ship though in itself, there's 67 suites on the ship and 16 staterooms.
Right.
So you have like 168 people maybe total, on the ship. Maybe if my math is a little off. I don't do numbers. But the ship itself was great. They had 3 levels, which of course is in comparison to an ocean cruise when you have like 19, 20 levels, decks. But here, the cabins were great on decks.
We were in a suite.
Yes. We were in the suite, yes. With the wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling, panoramic windows. You have your bed is facing the panoramic window, so when it's open, you're kind of sailing down the Danube and just looking at the scenery, and it's.
Make sure your clothes are on or you're under the covers, because panoramic windows is a view into your world. Not
so
sure you want everybody.
See them, they can see you.
Just remember that. Best thing about it for me was it was a beautiful room, but at the same time it had a shower that I could fit in, so that made it great.
Also the washcloth and the towels. One was brown, one is white. So you can always,
if you're not dirty.
Look.
Starting off. Got it.
But they'll change it out too if you need extra.
Right.
But just the fact that you can keep track of, which one is yours, especially if you're in a, you're not with your significant other or, whatever. You can keep track of your towels the entire time.
Not that she'd ever used my washcloth.
No.
But anyway, dining. What did you think about dining?
Oh, I loved it. It's seated dining. So you have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They don't have the buffets there. So it's seated dining, and you can get mimosas for breakfast. You can get wine served.
But the thing that threw me off was there was only one, restaurant, one dining. So that threw me off.
That's true.
Ocean cruising had us thinking that there was going to be, had me thinking there was going to be multiple restaurants there, but it was one. But the food was great, chef prepared, a different menu every night, so it was great.
But they do have places in the lounges that you can get little pastries and things like that, those little small bites if you wanted something extra.
And so on the ship, there's bar, there's a lounge area, there's lounge area everywhere, but there's a lounge area that has the panoramic windows. There's a small gym. And there on the top deck, there's a physical fitness track. So it's a lot, And the good news is you don't have to overpack because
there's a laundry service. You don't have to worry about all that. So don't be bringing, 2 large bags full of clothes and you're gonna change out. Just, pack responsibly because there is a laundry service there. Nominal fee for the laundry service, but.
It comes in handy, absolutely, especially for undergarments,
Yeah, and then, in the luggage, you're walking on these cobblestones too, so you don't want to keep, dragging these big bags. Like
extra weight. That's true.
If you don't have to do it, don't do it.
That's true. now the big part of the cruise was the excursion. Once again, we started in Passau, and we had 2 days there to enjoy Passau, but we also had an opportunity to have a guided tour of Passau our first day on the cruise, on the ship. So that was great. It introduced us to, it gave us meaning to what we were seeing. Right? And then from there we went to Linz, right? And
Austria.
Right, Linz, Austria, and we got off the ship there, got on a motor coach, and it took us to the Czech Republic to see the Český Krumlov.
Yes.
Right, it's a city, but has walls from a castle, has its own church. It's just it's pretty amazing. It's a tourist area. I mean, we're walking around. We saw Krumlov. We saw so many different food restaurants and shops, so many shopping stores and stuff to do. We actually got sang to by I guess a Czech Republic or Krumlov area singing tour. I mean, it's just amazing, and the whole city is inside of those walls, so it's pretty impressive. I think it's about 3,000 people there.
Next place, we were in the Waterways Valley.
Yes, in Austria. Now check this out. Think about it: bicycling in the countryside of Austria. Sign me up.
Yeah.
So it was
We
great.
signed up.
It was great. But you remember she said something about the weather? Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
So there's only one other place on this earth I've been where every direction I faced, the wind was in my face, and that was Fort Riley, Kansas.
Yeah. I've never been there like that. But on this bike ride, it was supposed to be 8 miles. It ended up, we were maybe about 13.
We did over 13 miles.
Because once we got off the ship, got on our bikes. Well, off the ship, we got bused to an area where we're gonna start the bike ride. And the weather was already a little, iffy, a little gloomy, a little rainy, but we all decided to do it. And our guide was saying that, okay, when we get up here, turn the corner,
the wind will be on our backs.
No, the wind turned
He's
the corner.
a liar.
Too.
But he was a great guy and kept the energy.
Yeah.
They kept the pace that would allow everybody to stay with the group. So it was
when we
great.
got off and boarded that motor coach, the ship left and went to the next port. So we
had
had
to
no
bike.
choice but to bike to the next port.
Yeah.
So, and once we got to that, the next port, people were clapping for us when we got back
Because we
on.
finally got there. Because
We
they saw
finally
all the
got
weather.
there.
Yeah, but it was great.
Yeah.
It was a great experience to talk about.
Yeah.
And then from there, we ended up going to Vienna, Austria, which is the capital and the largest city in Austria. And it's
beautiful and clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing city going to Vienna.
Yeah, it just
seeing everything that's there.
Yeah, and once again, we had a guided tour of the city, so we got to see all of the tourist locations. But specifically, we got to see the Spanish riding school.
The horses.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to see the capital. We got to see just the opera house.
Yeah.
It was.
I
it was
attended
nice.
a symphony.
Yep.
Yeah.
She saw a symphony.
You have to go there and see
I
the-
didn't, but she saw a symphony.
I was already there.
Yes, she's classic. And then from there, we also we ended up going to Budapest, Hungary. And did you know that one side is
Buddha?
the other side?
Pest.
We learned that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And so there's so much history there, and and once again, there's a market there.
Yes.
Where you went, it's inside, but it's huge. You just walk around and buy
several levels
from food to
paprika, the smoked paprika that you can get there, the goulash. I never would have thought Budapest was on my bingo card, but it was absolutely amazing to go there. I highly recommend.
A very pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
We went to the Hotel Parisi. It's a hotel that's Udvar, and it's in It's in a bunch of movies, James Bond, TV shows. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
We
so,
also,
which was very unexpected, you know, to walk in and see something like that.
Yeah.
But Budapest in itself was amazing, you know.
Parliament.
And at night we did a drive by the Parliament at nighttime when it's lit up.
Yeah, and it's just amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So overall, and then Budapest, that's where we got off.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, what do you think of river cruising there?
Oh, I recommend 100%. I loved it. I actually prefer river cruising depending on the river we're sailing on and the destinations that it goes to. But I think I prefer river cruising over ocean cruising, only because of the relaxation that you get from it.
I agree. I believe that the best travel are intimate circles with like real close friends, and my ideal group is like 3 to 5, whether it be 3 to 5 friends total or 3 to 5 couples, because I think that adds more significantly to the trip. And I think river cruising, it has such a relaxed background that drives you to the doorstep of excitement, right? So you can have a blast, but at the same time, that river cruise is literally like a hotel. Not a city like a ocean cruise ship is like a city. River cruise is more just like a hotel. So love it as well. And I would agree that I think river cruising is more in my favor than ocean cruising, but we still like a good ocean cruise, especially as they keep coming out with these new ships.
Right.
All right, so would you recommend river cruising to the people?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're, you know, like we talked about with the river cruising, if you don't want to be around 6,000 people, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like you're, you know, on an ocean cruise with that many people. But if you're just going in, if you're okay with having less than 200 people on a cruise ship, absolutely, river cruising is for you. 100% recommend, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And I recommend as well. The reason I recommend it is because now we understand it. And we can say that there is no age limit. If you're in your 30s, okay, I'm not, but anyway, if you're in your 30s, you could enjoy a river cruise. The ship does not have a lot of things to do on it, but it's a great place to get your headspace right, get your rest, get your food, and get ready to get off the ship and do something amazing. Absolutely. That's great. So recommend from both of us. Not just recommend that it's good, but you actually try it. And that's what we give you on river cruising. So thank you for joining us. We post weekly. Every Saturday, we post a long form video between 5 to 15 minutes. And then we also post shorts, video shorts. So please join us.
Subscribe to us, subscribe to our page, and as we offer travel recommendations and tips of our vast travel experiences. So we appreciate you.
What she said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.